What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today it is time that we do a review of the RCP official predictions for the governor's races, the Senate races, and of course, the congressional races. That is right, folks. Today we're going to be looking at the RCP prediction for the big three I just listed. And well, I've done this in the past for 538, kind of making fun of them for some absurd predictions. But RCP historically has been a very solid aggregate of polls. And this cycle, they've changed how they rate elections, alright? So in the past, they've just used polling data. Now, they use polling data still, but what they account for is the average margin of error in the past for the RCP aggregate for each state, which I like so much better than the crappy system that 538 is pushing out. Now, before I forget, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel. That is right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. Only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal. You help support the daily content. We all love that daily content. Plus, you get a shout out at the end of each video if you subscribed, or I guess you could say join, the $5 plan per month. So I recommend you join today. Alright, folks, let's get into it. So, RCP, like I said earlier, in the past has been very good when it came to polling aggregates. Yes, they've had quote-unquote misses, but their misses are because, well, the polling data was the miss, not RCP. And even then, RCP was significantly closer than 538, etc. And they are the, I guess you could say, the creators of the polling aggregate. They invented it. And they know what they're doing. And they've changed how they predict races. So in the past, like I said, how they would do it is, okay, if Ron Johnson's down by a point in the RCP aggregate, they say Ron Johnson would be down by a point, and it's more than likely he would lose. Now, this is what I like. You scroll down here, and what they did is they account for average polling misses, polls underestimated from the past three cycles, 2020, 2018, 2016, for the most relevant races. And I like this. I like this so much because it gives us, I guess you could say a better understanding, or I guess you could say a clearer picture of what are the polling looking like now compared to what it was a couple years ago, or a couple months ago, or whatever. I think this is a way better system than in the past. Now, they don't have every state because some states, they just don't do polling. Like New Mexico, yes, there's a competitive governor's race, but we don't really have a trend of past polling data from New Mexico to really make an assumption about the state. But for the most important races that have polling data, we get it. So, let's look at it. So, this is the RCP map for the Senate, right? And they have Republicans picking up 2 seats. The Georgia race and the Nevada race. Pennsylvania, they have Oz holding. Look, I love this map significantly more than 538. This is a much better picture of where the Senate truly is right now. And how they got to this? Well, let's look at Nevada. The RCP average right now is Laxalt plus 1.7. Now, in the past, Democrats have been understated in Nevada by a point or so. Well, they adjusted for the understated margin, and Laxalt's still up by a point. So right now, they believe the RCP projection is officially Laxalt holds on. Now, again, this changes based on the day. That's what I like the most. For example, 22 days prior to the election in 2018, McSally was up by roughly 0.3 percentage points. In 2016, Trump was up by a point in Arizona. That I like so much better. So you actually get an apples-to-apples comparison to the same time frame in past elections. And that's what I like the most about this. It's apples to apples comparisons, mostly. Not this crap of 538, comparing a governor's race to a Senate race. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why? And that's why I like the most about this. And you look at these other states. You look at Pennsylvania, for example. They have Fetterman up by 3.5 points in the RCP aggregate. In the past, this would have been a Democrat pickup. But they adjusted for Republicans' the understatement of Republicans, which were around 5.5 points, which you can look here. They had Clinton winning by 6.8% in 2016, Casey by 16% in 2018, and Biden by around 7.5 points. As you can clearly see, they vastly oversampled Democrats in the past 3 elections, 2020, 2018, 2016, and that's how they arrived to Oz plus 2.2. This is why I like this system. It accounts for past errors. They also look at Wisconsin. GOP, they roughly speaking, understated Republican support by around 4 points. Johnson up by 7. You could keep going. And that is why I enjoy this system the most. Now, you could make the argument for Arizona and New Hampshire, but for argument's sake, they have Republicans picking up 2 Senate seats. Hey, that's going to be much closer than what 538's saying. There's a chance Republicans lose seats in the Senate. Not a net gain, but lose like Pennsylvania. No. They are claiming there's a serious shot of a net loss for the Republicans in the Senate. That is why this system is significantly better and accurate. Now, the good news is there's other things for the governor's races, for example. And look at this. Kind of the same deal. Well, look at this. They had Whitmer up by 5.2 in the RCP average, but they adjusted for the polling average on October 17th, which again, roughly 22 days prior to the election. Clinton was up by 10 points in Michigan. Whitmer up by 9. Biden plus 7. Republicans were understated by around 5.3%. That's how they have Tudor Dixon currently winning in the state of Michigan. That's right, folks. They have Tudor Dixon having a serious shot of winning. You see why I'm starting to become more confident in Michigan? Look at past polling errors. That's how Tudor Dixon theoretically has a lead based on history. That is another good sign for Republicans, because they're within the striking distance in all these states. Wisconsin, RCP aggregates tied. That really means Michael's probably up by 5 points. You can keep going. That's why I'm confident in a lot of states. Look at Florida, understated Republicans by around 5.2. Well, DeSantis would really be up by 13. This system is significantly, again, I've said this multiple times, way better than 538. And again, they're going to even add upon this. I think they're adding a polling aggregate, or I should say a pollster aggregate, like actually weighing pollsters based on accuracy. You know what 538 claims to do? They're going to do it, but in an unbiased manner that actually does its job. So, I like that. Now, for the House, again, there's a lot of House races. Currently, I consider them the most reputable House prediction right now. Republicans at 221, Democrats at 176, 38 toss-ups. I agree. I 100% agree with what they classify as toss-up. It's a good, I guess you could say, a good metric to see where the House really is. They have Republicans, no matter what, gaining the House. I 100% agree with that. And I'm saying 90% agree with some of these toss-ups. I would have Alaska's lean Republican, but that's about it. Rest of these, maybe Oregon 4th. You could make the argument should probably lean Democrat, but roughly speaking, this is a very accurate state of the House. 38 toss-ups, Republicans pretty much already at a House majority, just doing basic math. I agree with that. And some arguments could be made in other places, but roughly speaking, I agree with the Real Clear Politics predictions. Now again, will this influence my predictions? Kind of. But it won't be like, oh, I'm just going to copy and paste what RCP says, shove it on my prediction, call it a video. Unlike a certain somebody does with 538. I'm going to do my own thing. But looking at the RCP aggregate, all of its data, is significantly helpful in determining what I consider to be, tossed up House seat, lean Republican, etc. Because RCP, they're unbiased and they know what they're doing. Anyways, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the RCP predictions. If you did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, follow that Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.